Alec, you're a bit early, aren't you? Your relief doesn't start till 2.
I've got the royal summons.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Frank. Alex, sorry to keep you waiting.
That's right, sir.
I've only got a few minutes, I'm afraid. I've got to attend the Jamel Singh Memorial. Marion, could you rustle up a couple of cups of coffee?
Yes, sir.
What's that all about?
I don't know.
You can't see what they would want to steal.
Did you recognise any of the boys?
No, I was asleep. Couldn't see, it was dark.
Are you sure you shouldn't still be in hospital, Mrs. West?
Oh, they wanted to keep me in for observation. But I had to come home. I was worried that the little beggars would have everything.
Well, we'll have to think of some way of protecting you.
The hospital gave me a walking stick, so I'll be ready for them next time.
Well, at least you haven't lost your sense of humour.
No.
I'll make you that cup of tea.
Oh, thanks, love.
OK, mate.
What do you reckon on Alec Peters joining the ranks of the gentlemen?
If it's anyone in that relief, it's Bob Cryer.
I've just seen Alec going into Brownlow's for 11s.
No way. Duty sergeant. Most powerful job in the station.
Unofficially. Anyone running a book on it?
Brownlow's going to need someone who's got their ear to the ground.
He's also going to need someone he can talk to. Bob can be a bit moral at times.
Well, Alec's a nice guy, but it's no use talking to him unless you're talking about runner beans.
How's Mrs. West?
Still alive, no thanks to us.
It's the council's fault. They should have moved her.
It's our fault. She did us a favour. Half the estate saw Ellison get knifed, but she was the only one who stood up in court.
Yeah, well, I've just seen Conway. Uniform are going to step up patrols.
Yeah, and how long will that last?
Can't she get a dog?
She'd be too scared to walk it.
Oh, hello, it's Mr. Peters. Is my wife there? Ah. Oh, well, when she gets back to the ward, would you ask her to give me a ring, please? Yeah, thank you.
You see Sergeant Cryer?
No. Can I help?
Oh, no, it's all right, Sergeant.
Hey, Tom, fancy a game of pool?
Oi, lads. Get your money out. I'm running a book on the new duty sergeant.
What are the odds?
Well, I got Bob Cryer at 3-1. Dave Spears coming in at 2-1. Even money on Alec Peters.
Peters has got no chance.
Why not?
Well, he'd make the worst duty sergeant. He couldn't organise a brothel in Bangkok.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't stop Brownlow from appointing him.
Come on, you two. Shouldn't you be getting ready for duty?
All right, Alec?
Yeah.
Thank you. Councillor, I'm sorry I'm late.
Glad you could make it, Chief Superintendent.
I thought there'd be more people here.
So did we. John Singh was a very popular man.
So I understand.
So, I'd be the worst duty sergeant, would I?
Oh, I never said that, Sergeant.
What did you say?
It was just a joke.
Well, you just kissed your overtime goodbye, son.
Oh, come on, Sergeant. I mean, look, is it you? Are you the new duty sergeant?
If I am, you'll be the first to find out.
Oh, Sarge. You've probably heard this, but Mrs. West got broken into last night.
Again?
I've come to you. I thought maybe you could have a word with some of the families on the estate.
Yeah, sure.
I knew I could rely on you, Sarge.
The funeral went off OK?
Well, it's not like a wedding, is it? You can always rely on the main participant turning up.
49, heart attack.
I'm surprised it wasn't his liver. The amount of scotch some of those young PCs used to bribe him with.
He was pretty fair, though.
He was meant to look after all the reliefs. I hardly ever saw him with ours.
He went to Brownlow for me on a couple of occasions.
That's probably because you gave him a couple of bottles of scotch. No, he was a nice man, but what I didn't like about him was when it came to going on courses or people needing overtime, he always favoured his old relief.
So, who do you reckon will get the job?
Well, Conway asked me if I was interested.
But it's up to Brownlow.
Oh, 9 to 5 would be nice, but you've got to be a man for all seasons. You know what they say, every pig has its snout. Even Brownlow.
It is a political job.
No, I wouldn't fancy it. Sitting up there like the Olympic flame.
Olympic flame?
You never go out. Right, Delia?
Hurry up.
Yeah, well, he's got to say something to him, hasn't he?
It's rubbish, all of this. What good's that tree going to do anyone? Do you think it'll have more effect on the ozone layer than it will on anything round here?
Yeah, well, I expect the dogs will like it.
Oh.
Well, that went off quietly, sir.
Yes.
Actually, I was hoping I could come and have a chat with you later.
Were you, Hollis?
Oh, yes, sir. As Federation rep, I thought you might be interested in my suggestions for the new duty sergeant.
No, Hollis, I would not.
Yeah, well, anyway, I've had some ideas and jotted down a short list.
I've often thought, Hollis, that if you have a good duty sergeant, you don't really need a Federation rep.
Yeah, well, I suppose you could look at it like that, sir.
You should get the GT one of these.
We can't afford it.
What's an 0 to 60?
I don't know, I never go that fast. How's your driving?
All right.
Joking, aren't you?
No, Graham here does the steering, and Billy sits on the floor and works the pedals.
Gonna nick me?
Next time I catch you, I am.
Don't believe it.
No, and I did the juvenile court, that's why they got off. No, you stay here, that's why I brought you. Look after the car.
What do you want?
Mrs. West got attacked in her flat last night.
Who?
Mrs. West, the witness at your son's trial.
Oh, I don't know nothing about it.
The kids round here had better leave her alone, or we're going to have to come down really hard.
They ain't my kids.
Are they in?
No. I told you, ain't my kids.
You're all right then, aren't you?
Keep away from that car. When are you at school?
You're in half term.
Thought that was last week.
Depends which school you go to.
And which school do you go to?
The one that's on half term.
Where's your warrant?
I don't need a warrant.
You do if you're going to talk to my son.
Stop there! Mrs. West's flat was broken into last night. She could have been killed. What are you smirking at?
Oi, Carl. Get inside. How's the work, Alec?
We always get quiet moments like this, sir.
Calm before the storm, mate. Can I have a word? How are you getting on with Maitland?
He's doing fine.
It's always hard in a new job, isn't it? You've got to gain the respect of the officers around you. If you don't do that, it's all too easy to find yourself making a dog's dinner of everything.
That's right.
If you don't have everyone's support, being any kind of sergeant is a very difficult job.
Is there something you're trying to say, sir?
No. Just sounds as though young Maitland's got what it takes.
I don't think we've got any worries there, sir.
Good. Oh, by the way, Alec, I've heard a rumour you might be offered the new duty sergeant. Be an interesting job for you, that. Good luck.
All right?
Can't get rid of Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Neither of them's for dumb.
The language, it's unbelievable.
That little Billy there, he knows more about gynecology than a boy of his age should do. Mrs. West?
Who is it?
Sergeant Cryer, son ill. You all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
Can I come in?
Yeah, come in, love. I'm just having something to eat.
I'll come back later.
Oh, no, love. Come on in.
You haven't had anyone come round about the glass in that door, then?
Council's too busy planting trees, love.
People haven't stopped dumping rubbish outside.
All that. That don't bother me now. Sit down, love. Do you want a cup of tea?
Oh, I'm all right, thanks. I'm seeing what I can do about getting the council to move you.
I've lived in this flat since just after me and Vic was married.
Yeah?
And I think he'd think what I'd done was right.
I'm sure he would.
I've never had much to do with the Packies, and I noticed that none of them stepped forward to help me. But what that boy done was wrong, dear. Human life is sacred.
Hi, Derek.
All right, sir. I was wondering, you had any thoughts about the new duty sergeant?
I've had some ideas, yes.
I was thinking of Bob Cryer.
You don't think he's a bit too fiery for upstairs?
Bit of house training would be very good. He is very popular with the men.
Yes, he might listen to them more than me.
Well, that depends how you use him, sir. He is a key figure in the station.
What are you suggesting?
Well, he is the best man for the job, but you could look at it from another angle. Pulling him upstairs would get him out of the way. He'd have a different role. He could be very influential.
How very Machiavellian of you, Derek. I didn't know you had it in you.
That's what we're here for, so you just ring us if you need us. And in the meanwhile, we're going to use all this as evidence and get the housing to get something done, right?
Ah, thank you very much for coming, Mr. Cryer.
And what about your GP? Is he coming back to make sure you're all right?
Oh, he's given me some tranquilizers. I went all through the blitz, love, and I never had no pills. A little drop of whiskey works wonders.
Well, listen, you look after yourself and I'll be back, all right?
Oh, what's that? What's that?
You wait there.
You got a free vasectomy.
Did you get a look at him?
Oh, a couple of kids, white, 12, 13, I don't know.
The usual.
How do you feel? Shall I make you another cup of tea?
You didn't see these lads bring this tree up here, French?
No, sir. I was round the other block.
Are you all right, Mrs. West?
I would be, if you lot just left me alone.
I'm sorry. See if we can get the ladies' windows sorted out.
Why, sir?
Anything broken?
If it was Mrs. West, there would be. What are we going to do about that?
Well, what do you want us to do? Lock up every kid on the Matthew Arnold estate?
Well, she needs more than a plaster and a new door lock.
It's down to housing.
Oh, it's not our responsibility.
Look, the Matthew Arnold estate is one of the best policed bits of property in London.
Most policed? The kids on that estate are out of control. She is 73 years old, and no one is standing up for her rights or her civil liberties, so she's totally forgotten.
Don't get so excited, Bob.
Maybe Sid was lucky he died when he did. Well, I hope people don't treat me like that when I get to her age.
Well, if you carry on like this, I doubt if you will.
What is it?
Who do I see about getting Mrs. West's front door repaired?
You want to see housing?
Are you the caretaker?
Yeah, but it's not my job.
But you can board it up, can't you?
Well, you'd be better off getting a brickie and bricking it up. You want to board it up? There's some wood there. There's hammer nails. You do it. I've done enough for Mrs. West.
What are you scared of?
I live on this estate. My boys go to school with those kids.
Oh, hello, Alec. Take a seat. You've made a decision.
It was all a bit sudden this morning, sir. I would like the chance for a bit more of a chat.
Chat?
The job's not just collating the rota, making sure there are enough men on duty.
No, of course not. I'd be relying on you to keep me informed.
I didn't think we'd been on the same wavelength, sir. Personally, I thought you would have gone for Bob Cryer.
That's very honest of you, Alec. In fact, it was Sid Reese who recommended you.
Mr. Conway spoke to me, sir, and I got the impression he wasn't confident I could do the job.
Oh, really? Well, I don't know what Mr. Conway said to you, but I can assure you that I've got every confidence in you. Look, I know it's not exactly a promotion, but it's the nearest thing to it.
Thank you. I still would like the chance to discuss this with my wife.
Well, you'd have every weekend off. That should please her.
She's a nurse, sir. I don't think it would make that much difference.
No, of course not.
Yes, can I help you?
I'd like to see the housing manager, please.
Oh, Derek, could I have a quick word?
Yeah, sure.
About the new duty sergeant appointment. What's your opinion of Alec Peters?
He's not bad. He's old enough for the job. I think the only slight query is whether or not he's reliable.
Alec tells me that you've spoken to him about becoming duty sergeant.
No. No, I don't think so. I remember we had a conversation about Maitland earlier.
What about Maitland?
I just wanted to know how he was getting on, that's all.
Oh. Peters seems to have formed the impression that you were trying to dissuade him from accepting the job.
Until now, I was unaware that you'd offered it to him, sir.
Right, I've got her file, but she hasn't reported harassment.
I'm sure she has.
Well, there's no record of it. She's requested a transfer. There's mention of a damp bedroom and no lift.
She's been spat at. She's been broken into. Her home has been vandalised. This afternoon, the Jarnell Singh memorial tree came through her window. She could be dead.
Well, we'd like a report.
Well, I'll give you a report. What I want to know is when is she going to be rehoused?
Oh, we've agreed to rehouse her, yes, last March.
And how long will this take?
Well, it all depends on what type of property she wants.
She wants somewhere where she isn't beaten up. Preferably without a damp bedroom, where there's a lift.
I am sympathetic.
What are you doing?
Well, the caretaker seemed reluctant, so I thought it'd be easier to do it myself.
That's not your job.
I thought my job was to look after Mrs. West. Are you all right, Sarge?
Where is that caretaker?
There's a tree outside Mrs. West's. I want it moved. And while you're about it, you can move that pile of garbage that's been lying around outside her flat.
Well, it's not my job.
I was told you were the caretaker.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, then take care of it.
Well, it's a refuse chute's broken. It's maintenance.
Don't give me that.
That's true.
Well, what do you do? You're not paid to sit around here picking your nose and reading dirty magazines, you know. Now get that tree moved before someone falls over it and breaks a leg.
Who are they?
I don't know.
Right, you want a fiver on Bob Cryer, 3 to 1, yeah?
Right, sounds fair enough.
What are you up to, Roach?
Oh, just a bit of paperwork, sir.
Are you corrupting my officers?
Well, you trust your men, don't you, sir?
Well, it's you I don't trust, Roach. How you feeling?
Sore.
Well, have a break.
That's why I came back. I've left French out on the estate. That lot upset, they don't know what's going on out there.
Brownlow's not talked to you about becoming the new duty sergeant?
It's only a bruise. I'm not past it yet.
You were past it years ago, Bob.
I thought you wanted to keep me on the relief.
If you don't go, Bob, I'd be happy. But speaking as a mate, I think you deserve it.
Yeah, I know, fine, yeah. Yeah, I will. Okay. I've got to go. Yeah. I'll speak to you later. Bye, love. Bye.
Now, that Munro talking to me about the duty sergeant.
The time to worry is when Brownlow talks to you.
Ah, it's in Sid's will. It's Dave Spears.
No, this relief's got 2 experienced sergeants. It's going to be one of us 2.
I'll say one thing about that job. At least it gives you the opportunity to influence things more than we do now.
And the chance of some early morning toast in the collator's office?
You'd love that.
Nah, I'm a relief man. I'm happy where I am.
So am I.
You'll surely be pleased now that Patrick's left home.
Well, it'll be a bit of a shock for her, me being home every evening after all this time.
If you were offered the job, would you accept it?
After today. It'd be all right if they give you licensing or something as well.
That's just an excuse to be in the pub every night.
I could do with a drink now.
I reckon you'd be the best out of the 2 of us.
I'd give Brownlow a kick up the backside.
It's what this station needs.
True.
Thing is, what would it do to the relief?
Well, they'd survive without us.
Wouldn't be the same without you, Bob.
From 832. I'm on the Matthew Arnold estate outside Webster House. There's a motor vehicle on fire.
That's my car.
What is going on?
They saw me with you lot. That's what's going on.
Why?
I told you, I live here, don't I?
Come on, let's get out of here! Oi, you! Open the door! Come on!
We ain't done nothing!
Then why are you running? Open the door! Come on, open the door or I'll break it down!
They're nothing to do with me. Come on, let's go. Oi! Looks like he's damaged himself.
Good.
Congratulations, Alec.
How'd you know?
You look every bit the duty sergeant.
Yeah, well, I turned it down.
Why?
Look, keep it to yourself, will you?
Look, don't screw yourself, Alec. This is your chance to move up.
I've made my decision.
But you'd be upstairs. What's wrong with you?
I know. Maybe I'll get vertigo. Good luck.
Did you just stay calm? If you just stay calm,
What happened to him?
Nothing, Sarge. He's just got suicidal tendencies. Stay there.
Quinnan?
Alec Peters was offered that job.
Yes!
But he's decided to pass. So I reckon it'll be Uncle Bob after all.
What do you mean?
Well, it's good news, isn't it? I mean, without Cryer, we should be able to pull a few more strokes on this relief.
Cryer was 3-1. You said Peters was a certainty.
There are only two things a policeman can be certain of, Ted. Death and divorce.
What would you say if I asked you to be the new duty sergeant?
OK.